You're listening to 87.1 Caroline Radio, KCGN Bakersfield, Blind Advocate Radio, or wherever you get your podcast. Welcome back, listener. How are you? I'm glad you had a good week, as I like to say. My name is Aaron Richmond. This is Aaron's Opinion, the podcast for blind people, and basically a show where we talk about issues in the blindness community. So I joined a Facebook group and for blind people, and there was this video that I came across, a video that was extremely articulate by a mother in England, in the UK, who is having has quite a story to tell us today, and she's been having a lot of struggles that she would like to share. I'll let her tell the story, but basically her daughter is named Ash, and they're having a lot of trouble, and it's time for Aaron's Opinion to be able to record this so that the world can learn all of this knowledge and learn this information, and so that we can kind of put this on the record. Rachel, go for it. I'm going to mute my microphone. You can basically talk for a while now. You're on. Go ahead.
Hi, Aaron. I just want to start by thanking you so much for reaching out and giving me a voice on your platform. It's really an honour. To give you a little bit of background, Ashley is 17. She has ridden since the age of 7 and is massively passionate about horses. So her condition is degenerative. So she's lost her sight progressively. She had some vision when she started riding, but lost most of vision by the age of 12. It's always been her dream to work with horses, and it's always something myself and her family have encouraged. We had trouble in year 11 when she started the process of applying to go to a college course. So she wanted to do a level 1 horse care course, which is accessible to people who have had no horse care experience, no background, never ridden. So that just gives you a little bit of background as to the level the course is at. Ash has obviously had like 9 years experience. She got her first horse last year. So the kinds of requirement for the course are very basic. For anyone horsey out there, it's things like popping on a head collar, putting on a bridle, putting on a saddle, things that Ash has done for quite some time and done independently. So there were 2 colleges that we were looking to apply to. One of them was Bishop Burton, who pretty much no questions asked had said they would accept Ash onto their course. They were welcoming, they were wanting to meet with Ash and see what she could do and how they could support her. The other course was in our area, was York Askham Bryan. Unfortunately, we felt a very different attitude from this college, and Bishop Burton were our first choice, Ash's first choice, but due to numbers, they didn't run this course, and we kind of had to go with Askham Bryan. Now, in the UK, you have to have the college placement named in your EHC plan by March. This hadn't happened, and part of that was to do with the Bishop Burton business, but we started getting quite worried in May as I raised with the county. Ash should have this already sorted. She's just about to start her GCSEs, and it's not been named. She's entitled to a good transition. Anyway, the county at this point was saying, oh no, she can't get on to this course. This college course is saying they can't meet need, and I'm like, I was really confused. Why can one college provide it absolutely fine and another college can't? We had to go through quite a traumatic process of putting in disability discrimination complaints to the county. I went directly to the college. as well, telling them that I was going to be speaking to local press should they deny my daughter access to this course. Both the county and the college kind of blamed each other, really. So the county was saying that the college said they couldn't meet need, and the college was saying the county won't agree to hand over enough money. We were told verbally in June Ash was getting on the course, and she had 2 transition visits. So this was a huge relief after a lot of, writing emails and arguments on the phone. And, I actually had to contact the doctor. I was that concerned about Ash's mental health going through her GCSE period. Anyway, at the end of July, we then got a phone call to say the college was not meeting need. Ashley would not be having a place and starting in September, despite starting the transition. And we were offered a ridiculous package. Basically, she was to be denied a college experience like any other child. And she was going to be given a tutor that would pop round and deliver a bit of English, a bit of maths, and the county will throw in a little bit of horse riding for her. I absolutely refused this. We dug our heels in. We were told that the timing of this was very convenient, and most people kind of take it and say, okay, we'll take the alternative. And there was a very real risk that Ash would have gotten, if nobody had backed down, Ash would have in September had no educational provision, and we'd have had to wait weeks for the appeals process. So that was quite nerve-wracking, taking on that battle. But we were told in August, yes, she's in. And I honestly, I burst into tears. I was so relieved. I thought, thank goodness, this is her dream. She gets to do this. She started the course. Lots of positives. Ash made friends. She loved being on the yard. We had to make a concession to get in, because the college was saying that the horses for the level 1 course, Ash would not be able to ride. Now, bearing in mind, these are horses that kids who have had no experience with horses can ride. For me, I was like, just because my daughter's blind, you're assuming she's got no level of riding. You should at least see how she can ride, because she's walk, trot, canter, she's jumped. Like, I found it patronizing, but that was a concession we made. But every Thursday the rest of the group ride, and she sits on and watches, and she has her riding off-site, which she's found hard. But like I said, we did accept that. Anyway, it came to October. We had her annual review. It was an interim review, just checking in, all the professionals around the table. The college didn't think to invite Ash to the review, which I was baffled at. Anyway, we all sat around and discussed everything, and I brought up the fact that Ash was due to take her first practical assessment after the half term, and I was absolutely gobsmacked when I was told Ash won't be taking them. I was told Ash can't. I was told that health and safety. I challenged this in the meeting and said, she's legally entitled to reasonable adjustments. This is something that you have to provide. I argued back and forth, bearing in mind Ash at this time had had her own horse for some time. She was going into the field every day, putting a head collar on her own horse, leading it in, tacking up, doing all the grooming, mucking out, which is everything that's on the course. And they were telling me in this room that she can't do these things. And I'm like, I will get you video evidence. Yes, she can. And they were nitpicking at little things. Well, what about picking out hooves? And I'm like, well, she's blind. She does that every day. Again, I'll give you video evidence. But okay, even if there are things that you think she can't do, you then need to put in reasonable adjustments. And at very least, if you know, you have to give her the chance to fail, because that's disability discrimination. If you're telling me Ash can't do this, so we're not letting her try, we're not giving her the chance that every other student on that course has, that is disability discrimination. Just fact. You can't argue with it. So I put in yet another disability discrimination complaint. The college didn't take it seriously. You know, I was ringing up 3 weeks later, which is outside of their time frame, to ask where this was. You know, where's my answer? They'd sent it to some other address. The response was poor. They were very dismissive. They told me that City and Guilds, who are the people who put the exams on, like, I don't know how to describe, maybe the governing body, or they run it, that they'd told the college Ash couldn't have any reasonable adjustments. Anyway, I've then followed this up with City and Guilds, and they explained to me the exact procedure that the college should have gone through, and they broke it down for me, because whenever they've kind of put these barriers up, I'm like, show me the evidence. I want to see, so I can keep challenging, you know, and advocating for Ash. And they had this like 3-line email from City and Guilds, but when I've spoken to City and Guilds, it's the wrong department. That's not the email was from the quality team, whereas it should be the policy team that would be putting in place the reasonable adjustments. So basically from there, I challenged the college. They had, with coronavirus, they had cancelled Ashley's annual review. I went back to them and said, you know, this
Are you there? Hello?